Okay, so what we're going to attempt to do today is a little overview of part of the editing process that I use, which in particular, having done a core sort of line edit run through, I'm now going to take a number of strands that I'll run across the whole manuscript a part at a time. And this particular strand that I'm looking at the moment is about my characterization, and in particular how I can make sure that I've given each of my main characters a character arc that makes them more three-dimensional. So on this screen, what I do is basically I identified all of the main characters, not all the characters, but the main characters. And I've done sort of a little web around them of associated characters. I've then colour-coded them so that my main character, Alison, isn't bright red, who clearly needs a significant journey for the character. The character's got to be doing something, or at least have an impact on others. And then of the other characters, I've highlighted in green those protagonists who I feel also need to have a journey and maybe a little flat. So that's, I've taken each of the characters and I've been very clear about what do they want in their day-to-day life. What are they striving to achieve? So Alison, actually they want, and this is a bit twee as I read it now, is they want to settle down with a partner, and that's a little out of context. But if we know what Alison's like, who is in this person in utter crisis, there's part of her as she deals with humanity is reflecting, well, how nice it would be to just settle quietly back into the suburbs. And they want to forget about all the horrific past. Horrific may be too strong a word. They want a normal life. But in effect what they need is this to confront this core issue, what the book's all about really, about what happened to them that's been forgotten, the source of the amnesia that is triggering the behaviour. And they need to come to terms with that. Likewise, Toby, who's a little bit of a love interest, a little bit of a victim. He's the posh guy, wants to be like his dad, wants to fulfil the family's lineage, but actually what he needs is acceptance for who he is outside of all of this business. And that really got me thinking in terms of his arc, that, his time with Alison is really a chance to pull this apart. This part, because I've finished part 1, so the book's going to be in 3, possibly 4 eventually, core parts. Part 1, 120 pages roughly. I'd like to get it down to just over 100. That's what I need to be physically editing now. So I'm coming back and saying, right, what do I need to do now for each of these characters? So for Alison, for that settle down with a partner business, at the beginning there's mental confusion, she can't think about tomorrow, there's a focus on survival, but there is an opportunity to elaborate a little during a return to the apartment section. Toby wants to be like Dad, and there's a chance to mention that at this restaurant scene I have. Perhaps he has time to think about this as he hangs. Let's have a talk about Alan Wisdom, one of the inspector. Well, he wants to retire and put his feet up. Now we can mention this during this meeting on Cock Lane. Careful not to overfill that chapter. So again, that's just a reminder to myself that you want your action scenes to have action and not to get bogged down in this plot thickening and characterization thickening. But again, this is just me and my thinking process of getting these ideas, the stuff that makes a good book great, in my view. You know, the themes, the character arcs, the subtleties, the foreshadowings that you can place in.